Let's talk about dilations. If you notice, I have eyes in here. It's kind of a giveaway what dilation is then, right? Dilation is like if you go to an eye doctor and they have to dilate your eyes, right, to check him. They're gonna put those drops and it feels extremely uncomfortable. And from your regular pupils, you have pupils that look like that. Sometimes they're even bigger and blacker, right? So the pupils dilated, they got bigger. And then they dilate back down. So dilation, the definition of dilation is a transformation in which a figure is made larger or smaller with respect to a point called center of dilation. So you have an original image and the image is either going to get bigger or it's going to get smaller. Dilation is the only transformation that can do that can increase or shrink an image. So if I look at these two in here, is A dilation? It sure is, right? So the blue figure got smaller, right, from the red one. So it dilated. B, is that a dilation? No, right, it's not. It's just slit, so it's a translation. Let's look how it's gonna look like in a problem. You're gonna have a problem that's gonna give you a scale factor. Scale factor tells you how many times you either make an image bigger or how many times you make an image smaller, right? So and I'm sure you just heard what I said. I said how many times bigger or how many times smaller. That means scale factor. Scale factor is represented by a letter K. K is the scale factor, which means multiply. Multiply a side or the image by a number. And that number is usually going to be given to you, or it's times you're going to have to figure it out. Let's look at this problem. Draw the image of rectangle WXYZ after dilation with a scale factor of 0.5. It's already done for me in here, but let's see what they did and how it actually happens. So 0.5 and scale factor means multiply, right? I would like for you to remember that if you multiply a number by a decimal, anything that's smaller than 1, you are actually shrinking the image. Imagine 0.5, like in here, right? So if I have number 6, I'm supposed to multiply 6 by 0.5. Well, 0.5 is half, right? 1 over 2. So what is half of 6? 6 times 0.5 or 6 times 1/2, half of 6 is 3. So if you multiply a number by a decimal that's lesser than 1, you're actually shrinking the image. Please keep that in mind. So if somebody's going to tell me scale factor is 0.5, I would like for you to look at the point x, and let's give me the coordinates for x. So coordinates for x, if I start on 0, is 1, 2 units to the left, so it's -2 on the x-axis, and 1, 2, 3, 4 units up on the y-axis. So these are coordinates for point x. I have a scale factor of 0.5. That means multiply every number in here by 0.5. Multiply every number you see by 0.5, not 4. So let's do that. What's going to happen? So my x prime is going to be -2 times 0.5, or half of -2 in this case, right? Same thing, 0.5 is the same as half. Will give me -1. Guys, and don't be afraid of using calculators. Half of 4, or 4 times 0.5, is +2. So x prime coordinates on x is -1 and y is 2. So I'm starting in the origin, 1 units to the left and up 2, and there's my x prime. The same thing you will do for y. Y is positive 2 on the x-axis, right? That's my x-axis. And then on the y-axis, we went 4 units up. Scale factor is 0.5. Multiply every single number you see, every coordinate, every vertex by 0.5. So y prime is 2 times 0.5 is positive 1, 4 times 0.5 is positive 2, and let's plot it, x and y, right? So 1 unit to the right on x-axis and 2 units up. 1 and 2, point y, right in there. So on and so forth. Now I would like for you to also see that at times you will have to figure out what the scale factor actually is. Identify the dilation, the type of dilation, and find the scale factor. So I am going from, if I look at it, I'm going from the red figure to the blue figure because I have an A and there's an A prime. So I started in here, I ended up over there. If you want to figure out the scale factor, it's super easy. So we started out with what? This line in here is how many units? 2 units, right? The blue line, the corresponding side, A to C, is how many units? 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Did we make the image bigger or did we make it smaller? We made it bigger, right? We expanded it. So it's an expansion. But what is my scale factor? Well, my question is, if this one is 2 units, if the red figure side AC is 2 units, and the blue side, the blue figure has that side AC 4 units, well, 2 times what number will give me 4? This is going to be my scale factor, my K. 2 times what will give me 4? Well, you could figure that one out quite easily, right? It's going to be the number 2. So K, the scale factor is 2. Now I want you to imagine it this way. What if you were going the other way around? Let's see if this problem it is. No, it's not. So let's go back to this in here. Imagine that this is my A, and this was A prime, B prime, C prime, and this was C, and this is B. So we went from the blue figure to the red one, and you have to figure out a scale factor. So again, let's look at the corresponding sides. I can also look at A to B, which corresponds to A prime to B prime. Let's do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So side AB, B. The measure of it is 6 units, right? Now the red AB is 1, 2, 3 units, correct? So A prime to B prime, that line is 1, 2, 3 units. So my question is, 6 times what number will give me 3? That number in here is my scale factor, right? My K. So 6 times what number is going to give me 3? I know that this number in here has to be a decimal, right? A number that's smaller than 1. In addition, I can figure out that 3 is half of 6, right? So I know K is most likely 1/2. But let's see. I can always work backwards, right? I'm solving an equation at this point. I have to divide by 6 both sides. Solving for K, 6 divided by 6 will give me the 1. So K equals 3 over 6. I can simplify that. They both can be divided by 3. K, my scale factor, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. My scale factor is 1/2. And yes, guys, if you think about it, this is half of that side, right? So it is the scale factor indeed is 1/2.